Hello children, welcome to the Jurchen video, a literal sequel in terms of videos and dynasties. So if you haven't watched the last video already, long ago there was a period in China where 3 dynasties existed next to each other before being consumed by the Mongols. I like to call this era the 3 dynasties period. Let's see if we can get scholars to start saying that term. In 1114, in response to the evil-ass rape culture that the Jurchens didn't like for some reason, the Jurchens under Wanyan Aguda staged a rebellion against Lao. After dozens of military successes and a capture of a shit ton of territory, Wanyan Aguda declared himself emperor and established the Jin Empire. The Lao Empire would die in 1125 and the Jurchens would live happily ever after until the Mongols would fucking decimate them. Okay, so where are they now? Unlike the Khitans who dispersed and got lost thousands of years ago, the Jurchens just rebranded themselves as Manchus in 1635. This is how it happened, right? So after the Yuan dynasty and the Ming dynasty, there was a point where the Jurchens were split into 3 factions. The Haishi Jurchens, the Jianzhou Jurchens, and my personal favorite, the Wao Jurchens. It was the Jianzhou Emperor Taizu who unified the Jurchens, but the next emperor who initiated the whole rebrand idea for a couple reasons. Most of the reason is on the screen right now, but the main reason is just the fact that the name Jurchen was pretty much synonymous with being under the rules of Mings and Mongols. The rebrand was so successful that they took over the government and made an insanely huge empire. They also at one point made an entirely new script because the Jurchen script was basically dead at that point. Okay, so back to Wanyan Aguda. This guy was also a genius, man. While on his conquest, he had a bunch of ideas for reform that he would establish in his new empire. One of them was a brand new Jurchen script invented by his chancellor Wanyan Shiyin. If you haven't noticed already, it's very inspired by the Chinese. Not only that, like a good chunk of it looks nearly identical to the Khitan script. It's said that the Khitan script was just so good that they copied how the script works and some design elements altogether. So here's the character for heaven in Jurchen and then Khitan. Notice anything different? They took away one stroke and just called it a day. Here's day, month, and year in Jurchen, and here's the same in Khitan. Honestly, why do I have to be so careful with plagiarism when Jurchens can just do shit like this? That's not to say the Jurchens weren't creative when making their own characters though. Here's children in Khitan, and then here's children in Jurchen. It's a design I could actually get behind. It's complicated, but it's fun to write. Here are the 4 seasons in Khitan small script. I couldn't find the large script. And here are the 4 seasons in Jurchen. Which side do you prefer? I think I'm on the Jurchen side on this, just because they're more distinct. Love the character for summer especially, look at that symmetry. Before I talk more about this script, let me establish a couple of things because it's my channel, fuck you, I could do whatever I want. First of all, Jurchens may also had 2 distinct scripts, Jurchen large script and Jurchen small script. The difference between them is like the difference between kanji and hiragana. While the big guy is logographic like Chinese or KLS, the little guy could have been more phonetic. The whole script can also be a simplification of the Jurchen large script, we just don't know. The thing is that we barely have evidence for Jurchen small script characters, not just due to time, but also because it probably didn't last that long. This is one theory of why it died, right? After Emperor Shizan, the creator of JSS, was violently murdered in a coup, the small script also died with him. Was it because it was difficult? Was it because it was inconvenient? Who knows? So that's why we really only talk about Jurchen large script as if it's the only one. Even the Chinese side of Wikipedia doesn't have a page for Jurchen small script. Now that that's out of the way, let's talk about numbers. It's like my favorite thing on this show. So remember how Jurchen is an evolution of Khitan, which is also an evolution of Chinese? In the same way, numbers also evolve to be more and more complicated as it goes. In Mandarin or Japanese, you have numbers for 1 to 10, then hundreds, thousands, and then 10,000s. In Khitan, you have the same plus numbers for multiples of 10. And then Jurchen has the same as Khitan, but with numbers from 11 to 20 as well. Feels like a weird place to end. If you're going to make extra characters, might as well make characters till the hundreds, right? So here's today's date in Jurchen as of October 22nd, 2025. Let's translate this top part character by character. So knowing what we know, this means 9 and this means 2. Obviously, look at them. We also know that these are year, month, day, also just look at them. According to our Jurchen dictionary, this is the character for new, so this means early second day, which leaves these 4 characters. Looking through the dictionary, it apparently reads as snake. Knowing that, we know that this probably reads as wood, as currently the wood snake year. Translating the date from lunar to Gregorian gives us October 22nd, 2025. Bam! Okay, next up, animal time. This segment needs no introduction. Here's some Jurchen animal characters I was able to find on Chinese Google. Gotta hand it to the Jurchens, all of them look pretty nice. When you compare it to Catan animal characters, Jurchen animals look pretty much original. The only character that even looks mildly Catanish is Boar because it shares a leg and the same head. Alright, next I'm going to be talking about a Jurchen related story I'm taking from this website. So, in the Azima Kagami, there's this tale where a Korean who drifted all the way to modern day Niigata was found carrying a silver plaque with 4 mysterious characters on them. It's been a long mystery where these characters are from until this Oriental historian pointed out that the characters were likely inscribed in Jurchen from the late Jin Empire. This diary entry was written in 1224, Jin Empire died in 1234, so it's entirely possible. Since the original piece was lost, we couldn't really verify if this was true or not, but in 1976, archaeologists discovered a silver passport identical to what was described in the Azima Kagami. Let's dissect this thing. The first character I don't think is a character, so I'm moving on. The first actual character I see is nation, or at least some kind of synonym obviously. And the second character is a genitive particle. The third character is a compound that reads sincerity. So altogether you get something like the nation's sincerity. This is my personal theory, but what likely happened 1,000 years ago was that there was a Jurchen expedition group that wanted to explore these lands over here, but didn't like the idea of being the guy to do something so stupid. So they just hired a Korean guy to do the job. Gave the guy an unintelligible passport, 2 bows, 1 quiver, a long sword, a short sword, a belt, a silver spoon, a saw, a comb, and a chopstick made out of bone and sent him to do something, I guess. Alright, last story for today, and it's going to be about this inscription. So if you look up anything Jurchen related, one of the first results you get is this beautiful medallion with Jurchen inscription on it. The reason why we have this relic and it's not lost to history is that it was found in a Ming Dynasty catalog of molds for making ink cakes. The inscription in Jurchen reads as follows: "When a wise king is heedful of virtue, foreigners from all quarters come as guests." I'm still a Jurchen beginner, so the only characters I recognize are this, numbers from 1 to 10 is easy, this because the pronunciation shares the same character with this, which means virtue, and this for the same reason. Also, this radical means person and foreigners are people, I think. Researchers who knew way more than me are able to compare the characters to this Chinese poem and connect more dots. Dissecting this poem really made me feel like a real archaeologist. I personally recommend finding a poem in a dead language and try to uncover bits of text yourself. Anyways, that's basically it. Thanks for watching. Next episode might be the 3rd script or something else, I don't know. It depends on how well this video does. If you liked the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Let's see if we could get 20 likes. That's right, 20 likes. And comment about a script you would like to hear about. Thanks for watching. Call me maybe. Wait, oh yeah, wait a minute, Mr. Postman. Wait, Mr. Postman. Please, Mr. Postman, look and see. Wait, yeah. Is there a letter in your bag for me, Mr. Postman? 'Cause it's been a mighty long time. Oh yeah. Since I heard from this boyfriend of mine.